right.
Oh, I'm down here. See me.
Yes, I know. Crazy, huh? Do you want me to, would you like to call the meeting to order?
I'd like to call the meeting to order, and if Sarah could please read remote Zoom information.
Okay. This is to formally advise that as required by general law, chapter 30A, sections 18 to 25, and pursuant to chapter 20 of the Acts of 2021, an act relative to extending certain COVID-19 measures adopted during the state of emergency, signed into law on June 16, 2021, as extended by chapter 2 of the Acts of 2023, the Yarmouth Commission on Disability will hold a public meeting on Thursday, May 11th, 2023 at 3:00 p.m. at Yarmouth Town Hall. The public is welcome to attend either in person or via the alternative public access provided on the agenda. Before we start the meeting, permit me to cover some ground rules for effective and clear conduct of our business and to ensure accurate meeting minutes. The chair will introduce each speaker on the agenda. If you are participating remotely, please remember to unmute your microphone and face the microphone on your computer. If you don't have anyone participating remotely, please remember to mute the mic on the Zoom app or mobile phone. When a participant wishes to interject a question or a comment, please wave your hand. We will now proceed with the meeting. So we need to begin with a roll call. Would you like to do that?
Okay, I would like, as a preliminary matter, I would confirm for the record the members and staff present. And when you hear your name, please respond in affirmative. Gail Charette, Chair. Jean Boyle.
Here.
Vice Chair. Drew Kraus, Clerk.
Here.
Evelyn Beal.
Yeah.
Jessica Simmons. Here. Mary Bilbon. Here. And Sarah.
Here.
Thank you. Sarah, we can start.
Public comment.
Public comments, you ready? None.
I have a public comment.
Okay.
The town of Yarmouth is hiring and we have both paid positions as well as volunteer positions available. If anyone has a location where it would be appropriate to post a flyer, if you can talk to me after the meeting, I would greatly appreciate it. I created a flyer that just has QR codes with volunteer opportunities and employment opportunities. So if anyone's willing to post that anywhere, I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you.
I have a suggestion. When we get into our meeting and we have the membership drive, we're probably going to be reaching out to different public buildings, and we would be more than happy to help you in that
Okay.
endeavor. Thank you. Okay. So let's see on the agenda. First item is nominations and election of offices for the new fiscal year. And after the roll call, chair will open the floor for nominations for chairperson position. So we've already had the roll call. So the chair recognizes. Let's see. Who would like to?
I'd like to make two motions. I'd like to nominate Gail Surratt as chair for the Yarmouth Disability Commission. And then the second one is I cast my vote for Gail whenever we have the election. Are we having it today, or are we just taking nominations for June?
So we need to reorganize after the town election, which is next week. So I don't know if that means that we need to vote today. Do you know how that normally works?
So I guess I'm a little confused. So even though it's after the town elections, is it with the town's fiscal year, which would mean it would be July 1st effective? Because their fiscal year goes to June 30th.
So it's not, it's just the bylaws say that we need to, each board and commission needs to reorganize annually after the town election.
Okay,
So that's why we're,
So
So-
reorganization doesn't necessarily mean election. It could just mean that we take the nominations and then we can do the elections next month.
well,
Or
it's, the town election hasn't happened yet.
Right,
So,
but we can do the nominations.
right,
And then
Take-
in June, what we do is then we reorganize, and at that point, we do the elections as well.
Right.
And that individual takes over that month.
or
In
the
June.
next one,
or the
At
next
that-
month.
which
yeah.
would be July.
It's not allowed for me to cast over Zoom.
Yes, it is.
It is. now?
Absolutely. Yep. Yep.
Oh, I read the thing where it said I couldn't do that on Zoom. That's why I wanted to do it, say, well, I'm here in person.
So that was what that beginning part that I read at every meeting.
Right.
Because before COVID, you're right, that was how it worked. We weren't allowed to have hybrid meetings. People could call in, but they weren't really like a present member. But they have changed the laws in, in such a way to have these hybrid meetings.
All right, I put her name in nomination for president. Is there a second?
Should the nominations be handled by someone other than the chair? In other
We're
words,
gonna make, we can nominate a moderator for the meeting,
I think there should be
right?
a nominating committee. I don't think the chair or any of the officers should be asking for nominations.
It's difficult to, I hear what you're saying, but we're a committee of 6 and 3 of you are, already officers, so.
And typically that doesn't happen, at least on town committees that I've been on, that you have a nomination committee.
Yeah, I think we should keep it, simplify it because it's a small group. And we're all.
And
we can all
everybody's
Speak
present.
directly to each other and just find out exactly why and how each person is gonna do each role as we sit around the table.
You can volunteer to run it if you want.
Oh.
Well, here's another thing. Since I'm being nominated, I have to be asked if I am willing.
Correct.
That's right.
Right, yeah, so that's what I mean.
Any-
Are you willing to do,
Right.
yeah, why don't we
Right.
why don't you just say?
I would like to see how other people would like to step up and go from there.
Right, well, I know that I cannot
I know.
step up, so.
Well, is there a second first for her?
I'm
Oh,
waiting-
If she made a nomination.
You really
Oh,
don't need a second when you make a nomination, according to what I read on Robert's rule.
Here-
However, if you want to do that, we can do that.
Would this be okay, guys, before we go farther down this line? Can we have this as a informal discussion
That can be
of
done.
possibilities before even nominations are
yeah.
made, so we can just find out the sense that everybody
Good
has in
idea.
their mind,
I think that's important.
and then go to
Yes,
nominations?
yes.
Like, in other words, you want to find out what's in how we're thinking, and
Yes.
we
right.
want to know what you're thinking.
Right.
Evelyn has said that she'd like to see you continue as chair. And
I
I,
appreciate that.
and so I have 2 things to say. I wouldn't be able to accept a nomination for chair. And I would be happy to see you continue as chair personally.
Well, thank you.
Those are
George. Appreciate
my
that.
comments.
Okay,
Do
who
you
else
wanna
has a
Make a
comment?
comment? Yeah,
So do I.
I think you're doing a wonderful job.
Okay.
okay.
All right, I would like to interject something.
Okay,
I was thinking.
Right.
If we have a co-chair, like, where somebody's in the wing, okay, I am I am very more than happy to do whatever this committee needs. Okay, whatever it takes. I believe in it strongly, and I can see the impacts that we have made, and this will be discussed later on with our trackers. It would be nice if I have someone that would be co-chair. Not just to do the work, but to brainstorm, to come up with new ideas, because there's a lot of things that we can be doing. And I'll take the heavy burden because I'm not working, and I know that half this committee is working, and I appreciate that. 40 hours dedicated to work. I mean, there's a lot to do, okay? So I'm just throwing that out there. If anybody's interested in the possibility of co-chairing as chair,
Is that
So-
something that's allowed?
we can do anything we want. Can't we?
I think so.
Yeah, I think you can have a coach.
I've read those bylaws and
Right.
it's pretty loose. I mean, it
know.
doesn't specify. You can, I'm not stating this as fact. You might be able to correct me on this, but just until, as I read them, all I did was read them. It said that the committees shall reorganize, but it didn't specify in detail how they should do that or exactly what
Exactly.
So,
offices they should have or anything like that. Yeah. What do you think?
so what do you see as the difference between that and a vice chair?
Right.
Because I think like we're a committee of 6 to
Okay.
have co-chairs, a vice chair, a clerk
So why do we have a
means
vice
that you
chair?
have 4 people. That,
Why don't we just do?
What you're describing should be called vice chair.
yeah, that's my point is I don't think
The
you
other
need a,
thing is, even though you would say the bylaws are loose, it does call for chair, vice chair.
Does it? Yeah.
yes.
and
Yeah.
then
So what
we
you're
have
describing, I
to
think, should be
amend
called
it
vice chair.
And change.
Okay.
the
Do we have a vice chair? I forgot.
We have a.
We
vice
have a
chair.
vice.
That's you. Okay, well,
We
that's
just tried to eliminate.
evidently, it was a coup. So that's why these
Oh,
informal
yeah.
talks are good, because we can say this without getting in trouble. And then move on to more formal things, but
Yeah.
you are the vice chair, that's right, and I think what you're describing. Is that,
Oh, okay.
that's my
All right.
opinion, and I
Okay.
think Sarah, that's what
Okay.
Sarah's getting at, yeah.
All right. Yeah, all right. That's true.
Yeah.
It's just that as, when I was vice chair, I had no
Whatever.
direction, no anything. So,
It's up to
know,
you,
so I
it's up
didn't
to
know.
us to,
Yeah. No, but I
create
mean,
what
I
we
didn't
do,
know.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, that's cool. That's cool. All right. I guess we throw that out the window. All right.
Did I
So-
get a second yet for my
No.
motion?
Not yet.
no, you
No.
didn't, because we're not nominating anybody yet.
Right. So that's all I have to say.
But you would be willing to carry on as chair?
If I cannot do this, and let me, I just have to throw everything on the table, okay? I'm going for surgery next month,
Yeah.
eye surgery. Hopefully, I'm gonna be all right. If things change, I don't know what, my
Well,
prognosis
as
is.
vice chair, if she had to
So,
quit her position, would you be willing to become chair in her stead or?
Temporarily.
Right, temporarily, you would be
Okay.
the chair
because that's very.
until
important. I
a
just
new
wanna make
official
sure.
chair was chosen.
Right.
Right,
Thank you, because I really want to make sure that we're all intact here, you know what I mean?
so that's,
If you can put up with I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm gonna take some lessons. I'm gonna
You
have to go
do
somewhere.
great.
well,
I think that we need to be careful that we don't get so worried about being so formal
mhm.
that we lose the content of the meeting itself, right? So you're doing fine.
Okay,
It's
just that I'm on Zoom, you know what I mean? It's like,
You're
oh,
fine.
it's-
You're doing great. See, and you're even on camera
It's not,
today and
that's not
everything.
terribly
You've
significant.
made great
Okay.
strides. You've moved.
All right, so let's.
It's only significant in the fact that more
need to move-
people can be part of the
Okay.
meeting.
So
we
let's
need-
just have the
okay.
conversation though. Are you willing to stay on as clerk?
Yes,
So there you go.
And are you willing to stay on as vice chair?
yes, she said that.
Okay,
Yeah.
good, then, yes, good, perfect.
So if you need to step down, she would step in.
But
So-
we still need a nomination.
So
We
we
need
have,
to see if there are other.
so hold on, so there's a motion, right? So I'll second that.
Motion's made and seconded. Are there any other nominations to come before the board?
I love her. She goes in the vote.
Are you taking notes?
Yeah, I was, but
Checking, 'cause
No,
I'm told I to.
I'm giggling, yeah. It's hard to giggle and
Mary
take notes at the
seconded
same
that
time.
motion.
And
so I just
Thank
wanted
you,
to-
Sarah.
He asked if there was any further discussion.
Right.
No discussion?
No discussion. Okay, so
Those in favor?
Are we voting today
I-
or are we waiting till next month? What did I
It should
thought?
be after the town
Right.
election.
Oh,
Yes.
nominate.
Okay.
So we're just nominating.
Okay.
Right.
So I
You
think
know,
we
I-
need to address, I think the nomination does not address vice chair or.
The only
clerk.
nomination so far and is
Okay,
for
it says
Gail
that
to
here.
be
Okay.
chair.
It says for all three positions.
Yeah, we need to make, we need
Okay.
to have
Okay.
an.
Generally, you do have like a month before you vote.
So in June, we'll vote.
Yes,
The committees, okay, we're gonna vote in June.
right.
Listen, I did lose track of the taking notes. I forget who seconded the nomination.
I did, but
Okay. But what?
it's not a formal vote, so.
No, you're
She's
just,
good, and
you're,
she's accepted the
I know
nomination,
it's not a
so.
vote, yeah. You seconded the nomination. That's
Yep.
all. I'm gonna put it in the notes.
we need a nomination for vice chair and clerk though,
Right.
right?
So now one of you can
I
nominate
nominate
Jean,
Jean
right?
for
Wanna-
vice chair.
Want to
Okay.
do both at once? That would
Sure.
be really crazy.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it's a good exercise in informality yet efficiency.
There you go. So I do so. Nominate for vice chair and clerk.
Second vote.
Okay, so we've nominated
Jean?
Jean for vice chair and Drew for clerk.
And Jessica seconded.
Jessica seconded, yeah. So next meeting, we've decided the next meeting, we're gonna vote on these nominations, okay?
That means you
And I-
guys can't change your mind.
I've noted it all down.
Okay.
Any further?
We should also ask if there are other nominations. I know we're a small group, but
Do you want to nominate anyone else for one of these positions?
no,
Okay, I do not want to do that. Do you want to nominate anyone else?
No.
Okay,
I think they decline.
Pretty good assumption. I would say that's a safe
see, that's
assumption.
what I mean. We're just a few of us sitting here. We can speak
Yes.
informally without being silly, even though I do tend to giggle at
I want
times.
to hear.
Okay, what's next, chairperson?
All right, the next one is Sarah. I reached out to Sarah to see if she could approach the selectmen about potential member applicants for Disability Commission. And she's going to take care of that.
Okay,
Okay, so
so that's you announcing that Sarah
I'm
will
announcing it, right?
ask the select board if they've got any people in the pipeline.
Do citizens come forth and say they want to be on any commission or committee? Or aren't they usually specific?
So both, we have on the town's website, there's something called a talent bank form. And you may recall that you would have filled it out before you came onto this committee, so. Someone can fill that out and turn it in, and on that form, they can check off as many. Boards or commissions that they
Really?
might be interested
do
in
more than one?
volunteer, yes.
Yes,
So that's what the process is. And then there's a nominations chairperson. On the Board of Selectmen. And that person interviews. And selects.
that person
you know,
is Dorcas McGurran.
It is.
Say that again,
That person is Dorcas McGurran.
that's the name.
Dorcas
she's
is,
on the
she's
select
the
board.
select board member who does the nominations, yes. So she's responsible for interviewing the people and. Usually what happens is if there's a candidate for a particular board. Pam in my office will reach out to the chairperson. And ask if they want to sit in on the interview.
Oh,
May I interject something? Because Mary has to leave. Well, I know, but I just want to make sure we get something done. The membership poster, because we'd like to,
You want to move on to a new topic now?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah, I'm sorry.
go ahead.
Membership poster, I just want to firm up some things. You and I had discussion and you did a great job. And then I was reading it and looking it over and some things just didn't hit me right. So I'd like to propose that we make a little bit of changes. And if everybody could just read this and then they can decide what they would like to do. I'm going to start with Mary because you were very involved. You can read it out loud if you want, or you can just.
So it says the Town of Yarmouth's Commission on Disability, YCOD, is seeking 3 new members. Get involved, Yarmouth registered voters, join, because if you remember, you have to be a registered voter.
Right.
Correct?
Right. that is right.
Disability inclusion at work, together we achieve more. Where disabled and non-disabled members exchange ideas.
Good.
Commission is important to our community, educates and raises awareness of the needs and human rights of people with disability. Meets monthly, in parentheses, second Thursday, where Town Hall, ADA accessible. And then it says for more information, scan the QR code or contact Sarah O'Reilly at 508-398-2231. And there's the QR code.
Okay,
So what I would like to do is if there's changes to be done that we make the decisions today. This particular flyer is done in a software platform that I don't have access to. So like my staff member does this for us, which typically is not in her job role. But I do allow it because she's willing and she's a great team player. So if there's any changes, I would like to leave the room with them today so that she can make the
And then once
changes.
it's all-
okay.
Yeah, and like if we need to revisit it 6 months from now or something, it's fine, but I don't want to have to go back and forth.
Exactly, and I agree with you
But
100%.
you have a change you want to suggest?
Those are her
Those are the
changes.
changes.
Oh, these are the changes.
So if
How do you
you,
like them?
on the back.
Yeah.
Just,
I understand now, yeah.
okay, yeah, so that doesn't
This is
have our
this is-
original.
It doesn't have the original,
Right.
but this is something that you have agreed that you both like?
Yeah,
Okay,
I just expanded a few things
Yeah.
like with the disabled and just reached out that, and I made it a little bit more so that when you're reading it.
Bulleted.
Exactly,
Right.
exactly. I
Okay.
think it's more.
instead of like a narrative, like a sentence, it's bulleted.
So Mary, I don't know how long that will take, and I don't want to rush you. But I've had this thought that I wanted to get in touch with special ed at their department
Mhm.
and see, I'm sure they email all the parents and see if they would send a flyer with it. So that maybe we could get new members.
So
Yeah.
we have that context, so if this group would like me to do that, once you approve it, we can just send this out and ask them to do that.
You could do that,
Yeah, and the chamber.
just let
works with
them know
all
what
the
we're
time.
looking for.
Good.
Yeah.
That we're looking for members among
Yep.
parents and
Just if you
teachers.
see if anything that needs to be changed, please,
I
make
like it.
note of it.
And if people want, I mean, I'm sure we could ask Sarah to, or I could scan it, send it to the committee, and then if anybody has changes, like by next Monday, get them to me. So if people want to like
Think it
physically
over,
look
yeah.
at it.
It's just that we want to make sure that it's really focused and when you read it, a stranger, somebody that doesn't know anything about our committee.
well,
can at
we'll
least
see if
read it.
Jessica has a suggestion. She's
The
looking at
only
it carefully.
suggestion I have to make is the colors.
Yeah, I threw those colors in.
Okay.
I'm
They
gonna
don't,
do black and white for the later.
put those, put a note on your, next to whatever you're thinking.
So all of the text,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
So
Put a
just,
note- get-
It's just contrast is a big issue for me.
Mhm.
Can I write right on this?
Absolutely, that's what it's for. We're
pretty
all
interesting.
here. in it
Yep, things I
together,
wouldn't think of.
swimming.
Thought of that.
Other than that, I think.
I like it. It's not as wordy as
Right.
it was, yeah.
Let's go.
Where are you changing the colors?
the,
Which
the
colors are
text,
you
Just the
changing?
text.
The text,
Just a text. All the
Oh,
wording.
oh, good.
what about the
okay.
text down the
Yeah,
bottom
that
that's
makes
white?
sense.
Should that be black too?
I would suggest it. I would make all of the text black.
Okay.
So even though it's in the green?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, because that light color, the lucky flyer background is. What's there. I know sometimes when we put out flyers, we have one side that's no color, the back side of it is.
I
black
see.
and white.
Interesting.
That's good.
All right, so
I
we're
wouldn't
gonna go
even
with
know
that. So
that.
Mary, that is yours.
All right, so do you want to scan it and send it to everyone? Or just so it
Do
stays
you-
with you?
Do you want me to do that, or do you want to make the changes and then send it out?
I don't want to go back and forth again.
I thought are we voting on
We're
this
gonna,
right
we should
now?
vote on this right now.
Okay.
And we can
Okay.
just let it
Call a
go,
vote
right?
then, Chair.
Okay, we'd like to make a motion.
I move that we vote to approve the flyer as with the suggested changes by Jessica.
And who's second? And
I just
Evelyn second.
want to clarify one more question. Sorry, I just want to make sure. So when we change this to black, that's going to be okay
It should
in the
be.
green.
It should be.
Now, may I make a motion too? Or discussion, I've got discussion, one more discussion. If by any chance, when Mary does this and and the black fades in with the green, she have the option to change it to white if it's not really bright enough. It doesn't. Would that be acceptable?
I'm gonna make two different versions. I'm gonna do one where all of the text will be in black. And one that would be in color. How is that? And then that way,
Okay.
is that all right?
Okay with you?
I'm just afraid the black might
I think it's
fade
black. I
away,
think it's gonna fade away too.
but
If
I,
you change the text on the green part to black and it.
this,
no,
oh,
the
this.
bottom one, and it's like it's. Gonna be even more difficult. And just.
And use common sense in that case.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Better
mean, there's
judgment.
another way of doing it too. You use the black and then you
Okay.
put a white thing, but, and then you
I
put the
think-
text, but
I think we
it's
got
fine.
it straight
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
So now I move that we accept the flyer with, as Mary now plans to. complete,
Yes.
Right?
Wonderful.
Want to second that?
Yes.
The second.
Okay, now you call the vote.
And we need a vote, right? A roll
Oh.
call. Yes.
You don't
okay.
need a roll call because
we
we're
do.
all here.
Oh, yeah, okay.
All in favor?
All in favor? Sorry.
Aye. That was a good suggestion.
Okay.
Mm,
Okay. All right, so the last part, we'll continue on the membership, just to finish it up, okay? Let's see now, I had it right here, where is it? Posters needs to be distributed. So I have a list of places. And if anybody can add to it, that would
By
be,
poster, you mean this flyer? right?
yes,
Okay.
yes. So the list of the places that I have suggested, libraries, senior center, town hall, post office, Shaw's, Stop and Shop, at nonprofit locations.
My son works at Stop and Shop, so I'll have him.
What?
My son works at Stop and Shop, so I'll put that on.
Okay, DY Regional School for the parents, but we're going to do that
So
via
do electronic.
electronic. Are there any other?
The wellness fair. May 19th,
Oh, yeah.
and we have a table there. We'll be able to put some there.
Absolutely.
So we're having a table there?
Yes.
Yeah, that's another, we have to discuss.
Okay.
For the town departments that you just listed, like the library and the senior center, I can, once we have the final version, I can just email that out to all the town departments.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then ask them to post it.
So
I just sorry, I didn't bring it with me, but I just created another flyer that has that has QR codes for volunteer opportunities and for employment opportunities I was just mentioning. That's more general, not this, specifically disability commission, that just it's on the door if you notice it when you're going out, but that just got distributed to all the town departments too. So there is a QR code to the talent bank form already, kind of out to all the departments too. So
We posted it. at our
Sarah, do
building.
you think that's going to be filled pretty quickly?
what?
What you're doing? Like finding people to volunteer and things of that nature.
I mean, we haven't, but we've had openings on this commission for a while, so.
Okay, so you know
Yeah.
what I was thinking, which may be out of the box, okay? But when I was in a choral group, what we did to advertise for the Christmas fair. We all made a poster, our own kind of poster, but the basics was, or we can use the same one, but we actually put them like in the front of our houses, or we put them, in friends' yards and stuff like that. Do you think that would be appropriate or not? When people are driving around and
A
they.
yard sign?
Yeah, like a yard sign, yeah.
So you have to have a special permit in the town of Yarmouth. to
Oh, you
put
do?
it- yeah.
Okay, forget that. Okay,
Huh.
You
all
do?
right.
Yes. You didn't get one? Oops, don't say anything. Yeah, you have to have a permit.
It's bureaucracy sometimes, just cut right through it.
Like,
I'm just
Yeah,
trying
I
to think of a way
wouldn't-
of reaching out. I don't know of another way of reaching out,
I think putting it in those locations that you just talked about.
that would be helpful.
And I love your idea of getting it out in the hands of the families through the schools.
All.
You know,
actually,
people
all states.
have a really vested interest in
Yeah.
this, right? That's
You
why.
know,
it's here.
school, I learned this from publicizing the health fair. The DY school district has a big communication system. That's like they can send out texts on people's phones, parents and kids and everybody, and on their computers to make notifications and announcements. And this could be one of their notifications.
Mhm.
And the senior services has a big email list. Of all the people that use the senior center and that have decided to like sort of register and put their share, they could send a notification that we're looking through there. So that would be thousands of people. Also, those are good ideas, right?
Yeah.
The other thing is Channel 18.
Right.
Channel 18, yeah.
So we have them all covered then. That's good. Yeah. All right. And
So
yeah,
when would we unleash this?
as soon as,
It's all on me.
Because from working on the health fair, like I know that I could get who to ask in the school district to put it out. All this,
So we do that. So we have those connections at the chamber.
oh, you already can do that.
Yeah, and
You
so
already
that,
got,
and then we have,
clued in on all
so then we have parents that will
Good.
get it out on their social media pages and.
Oh,
that.
that's-
So you're already totally,
she's,
right, see, I'm a
She's
newbie,
wired,
and
she's
it's just
wired already.
dawning on.
Mhm.
Mary, that's great. It's visions and going down there.
I just give it to
Right.
Jen,
Made it
she'll
so
change it
simple.
all and send it all out.
Including the school district.
Yeah, let's not make it overcomplicated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay, good.
Yeah.
All right.
No, it's just I'm coming from like trying to invent all this in my
We-
own brain. It's already been invented.
Yeah.
We already,
Generations, yeah.
like, we put it on our community information board outside our office for a
Mm.
few weeks, and then we have to take it down because it can only be up for a couple weeks at a time. And then when we need fillers, we put it back up again, so it's,
Okay, good.
we did the same thing for you guys for the hiring. So.
Are there any other ideas that we can do to create more membership? And what we're doing?
I think of like, I really don't know about people
Yeah,
that are young and present.
I was thinking like, we definitely want people that they're either impaired or disabled because their insight is really
it's
very
part of the
critical.
mandate too, yeah.
Exactly. Is there any way that Cord could interview people, like young people that are registered voters that would be interested in, participating? What?
Privacy,
They're
They-
not gonna do that.
No?
privacy.
Oh,
They meaning Cord?
I think your
Okay.
schools is a great idea.
Yeah,
I
college,
really
maybe the
do.
college.
Oh, that's a great idea.
We should probably tap into the college.
The college has a program called Project Forward.
Oh, we work with them.
So one.
What is it? Tell me. about it, yeah.
Project Forward. And these are kids who graduated. And they are training to work in motels and all these
Yeah,
simpler occupations.
It's
don't
a
know.
transition program,
Yeah.
like for someone with a disability to
Mhm.
get into the workforce. To
After
be,
high
you know,
school.
to receive training to,
So the thing is to get, we want to have, like, part of the mandate is that this commission needs, should have people who are disabled, living with disabilities on it.
Right,
And in order to get such people, you have to ask them. And there's kind of a hang up about just exactly how to do that, right?
yeah, I think that personally, I feel like your ideas are right on target.
Mm.
You've gotta put it out there to people so they're aware of it.
So like at that project forward, we would go there and
The
tell them
teacher-
about this,
I
tell the
would-
teacher about it.
No, I wouldn't go there. I would just email them the flyer and
Yeah.
say, is there a way that we can distribute this?
Yeah, I would email
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Veterans. That's an
It's a great way.
excellent point.
So many- No.
There's one on West Main Street,
Right.
at the Veterans Outreach Center. And that would be better than the Veterans Medical Center on Stevens Street, I think.
I go by there all the time.
Yeah.
I can reach out to Jim Seymour. He's the, yeah.
So I'm in Rotary with him. I'll see him tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, you do it then. He's the director at the Veterans Outreach Center.
And then we just had our
And
legislative.
he's a
rep-
Yarmouth resident, actually. Yeah, so.
Maybe if a
Okay.
couple of us get them.
Mhm.
I mean, I can
I used to
certainly
work
talk
with
to
them
Jim.
too.
I can
so
definitely. talk
Mary,
to
when
Jim.
you do all this stuff, you're sending it out, would you just following up, just send an email and letting me know where everything is?
We'll
going?
just CC you on everything.
Okay, oh, that'd be cool. All right, that'll be helpful. That way I have an idea of what's going on. Okay.
Seymour,
Mhm.
is he at the Veterans Outreach?
Mhm.
Yeah, he's the
Oh,
director.
He's the director there, yep.
Oh.
Okay, so she's got all these connections. Good.
Chamber of Commerce.
It's what we
Too
do.
bad we didn't know there was someone
Connections,
there.
right.
Network.
Yeah, network.
Huh?
All right.
I get it.
Next one.
Look,
All right,
Yeah.
speaking about the health and wellness venue, which is going to be May
Health and
19th
Wellness Fair.
fair, it's going to be May 19th at the senior center.
That's a week from tomorrow.
1 to 3. Do we have any volunteers that are able to man the table between 1 and 3?
I could help out.
Okay, I can also volunteer.
That's good.
So we
I'll
have,
be there
okay, so we'll.
automatically
have
because I'm
two.
helping run it.
Right, so we're all set, okay. This is the most important thing. We need to do things to make sure that when people stop at our table, we can have a discussion, okay? And we're gonna pass out the bookmarks, that's one thing we can do. We're also gonna have some poster flyers or whatever on the table. They
The
can-
flyers.
The flyers, right? And as a intro to what the
made
Disability
this.
Commission is all about,
This can be on an easel and it
Right, this is
stands
gonna
up.
be on
It's
a-
not flat. That's
right,
good.
an easel, and it'll, when they read it, hopefully they'll ask questions. But I just want to make sure that what is written, everybody is okay with it, because I know we don't have much time, but Jessica, you're right there. Would you just mind?
You want me
Maybe,
to read all of them?
yeah, I think that's important. Don't you think so, Sarah, to make sure that we're on the same page? Good.
Sure.
Okay,
I don't know. I haven't.
okay,
I don't know where my glasses are.
Oh. okay. I mean, I could.
How about, does anybody volunteer to make a big sign that says Yarmouth Commission on Disability? If you stand. You hear me?
We
Can you
meet,
make, yeah, you or somebody else? Yarmouth Commission on Disability. sign.
okay. Well, we were going to do something like that, but we didn't get to
What
it.
if you just took a whiteboard? And you could write it on there.
Write it on there.
And then you don't
Magic
have.
marker. It's
Okay.
fabulous. Just
Okay.
has to be legible.
Okay.
Disability Commission's purpose, engage everyone in the planning process. The your planning process, including local authorities, community members. Ensure it complies with federal, state regulations regarding people with physical and intellectual developmental disabilities. Highlights and advocacy projects created This website. I'll give the website name there. Citizens are empowered. to Advocate on behalf of themselves. Publish a children's story. So tell us about the coloring book. How they distributed it. Replaced 14-year-old Moby beach mats, Moby surf wheelchairs, open spaces, recreation. Parks, town plans, will include more accessibility. Why volunteer? Help fulfill the vision. Town of Yarmouth will always be a welcoming community. Emphasizes integration, inclusion, and accessibility to all. She has written Yarmouth Registered Voters. Why cities need to be inclusive and accessible. One. The World Health Organization says that 15% of the world's population lives with an impairment. People with disabilities, young, old, women, men, every race and ethnicity. Cities are built with accessibility in mind. People with disabilities will feel included socially. Non-discrimination policies will also help protect housing rights. It shows the person here talking to another person. She's speaking a lot of jargon and you can't figure it out. People with disabilities face discrimination, housing, transport, education, employment, health, services, and information technology are not accessible. Having more people with disabilities involved helps planners think about the different types of exclusions and barriers that people face in their everyday lives. Accessibility is the key to inclusive cities. Provide public spaces and facilities that are safe and accessible to users of all ages and abilities, e.g. libraries and sports centers. Make sure older and new buildings are made accessible and easy to evacuate in the event of an emergency. Provide green, accessible public building spaces. Well-planned cities mean people with disabilities and their families and communities are happier socially and are better off financially. An inclusive city is a place where everyone can access everything and feel empowered to do so. And this says, scan the QR code or contact Sarah O'Reilly, phone number. And need a place.
Great job. So
Very
it's okay.
nice. Yeah.
it's great.
My buddy over here, we worked on it all morning, didn't we, Evelyn? It was fun.
But in the context of like being at the table and you. talking about the
Exactly,
different
Because what'll
places.
it's an interaction.
If you talk with people, using this as a reference. point,
Exactly.
I think it can-
Yeah, so, hopefully it'll bring up some conversation,
Yes.
Okay, so there's no corrections, nothing needs to, I know it says cities, but I found a real good site. And for us to be making all these books and passing them out made no sense,
There's a little bit of that.
but you
No,
know
but
what?
again, you're not gonna be standing there and reading
Right,
that.
it's a-
You're just gonna.
The interaction. is the thing.
Right, the interaction, so, okay, so.
Picking on little things is
Yeah.
probably not nearly.
Yeah, so
Good job. Agree with
yeah,
that.
I mean, so we took care of that and we're gonna do this and hopefully, we will get some interest and people will, we have one individual that I'm going to be contacting. I met her at Evelyn's. That she may be interested and she will be attending one of our meetings and hopefully, we can go from there. Okay, great. All right, so we already did that. Great, okay.
Okay, so we
All right,
agreed on the
so we,
display.
yes. good. Okay. All right, now let's see, what else do we have? Okay. Oh. We probably should do this, the minutes, just because Mary has time constraints here. So I move that we accept the March 9th minutes. Need a second? Second. It is,
Evelyn second.
okay. It has been moved. And there is a second by Evelyn. And are there any discussions?
No
Okay.
discussion.
So the motion is carried. Oh,
You need to
yes, I
vote.
think, right.
Mhm.
Okay, all those in favor of the minutes as they are read?
I,
Passes
Yes.
by voice vote.
Any opposed?
Any opposed?
Can you sign and date them, please?
Okay. Thank you, Sarah. Okay.
Just today's date,
Oh, sorry.
5/9 or 5/11, sorry.
Madam Chair. At some point, I need to make a statement now or later.
Later. I'm gonna hold up. Okay, but I will recognize that and I.
Okay, what do you want to talk
All
about?
right, we're gonna do the trackers real quick. Okay.
Trackers.
We'll go in, the Moby Beach chair, surf wheelchairs, very happy to report Yarmouth will be replacing the 14-year-old chairs. Funding was approved by Community Development and Recreation Department is working on procuring 6 to 8 chairs within 2023. The new Moby mats have been procured by the Parks Department and will be in service this summer. Happy to report we can close this tracker.
nice.
We did a great job.
That's very
So
good.
That is exciting. And
I'm
that's,
curious about what's going to happen with the mats. Are there more mats or more bigger mats or something?
no, it'd be the same amount, but they're new.
They're just better.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they're
good.
new. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Very good.
And that was all done because of the web page, because of the interaction of that web page, and a community
That's a good
representative,
thing.
member,
Yeah.
resident,
Right.
came to us and we get it done. Isn't that great?
I enjoyed talking to the staff, the recreation staff about that too.
Yeah, it's cool. Yes.
May I propose that we go out of order and take items C and D before B, please?
Oh, I'm
See,
fine.
oh, that's right.
That's
Okay.
fine.
Mary, any updates on, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do
Go
that. I
ahead.
thought I
No,
could
I'm
rush through
fine.
it real
No,
quick.
because I don't
was
have to leave at 4 o'clock. It's right
Okay.
downstairs.
Any
so-
updates on the parking issue?
So I couldn't remember what the parking issues were and I looked
Oh.
in the minutes and I couldn't look.
6A,
Oh, there's no update on it.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
Town has not, or the state.
And then the other thing, Mary, is transition center.
Yes, so I reached out to Mass DOT this morning. And so we are the next project. They're over on the vineyard right now prioritizing a project that's ADA compliant. And then the crosswalk on Route 28 will be done hopefully before Memorial Day.
Congratulations. Isn't that
So-
one? See, this is
So a
very,
crosswalk at Transition Center
So I'm
near,
near.
very cool.
Near. So they still have quite a bit that needs to happen for the clients at transitions. Actually, some type of a sidewalk needs to be
Okay.
done,
All right.
but
So that's a
because
whole separate.
the
thing,
Route 28 project has been
Right.
put on hold,
Right.
Mass DOT is making this accommodation, so at least to install the crosswalk there. The street, if you're going eastbound
Uh-huh.
past transition
Right.
centers, on your left-hand side, there's a street, a side street, and they're gonna put the crosswalk from that side
Okay.
street across from 28.
All right.
If you drive there now, you'll see all the markings that Mass DOT's made on the street.
Okay.
So,
So-
Mass DOT will not do any work on state roads after Memorial Day.
Okay. So this is a necessary step to get this, what we are hoping for, but it's not sufficient. And
This is
For the
going to,
transition
it will
people.
at least temporarily meet the needs for transitions clients.
okay,
And Scott, the director of transition centers, didn't even know this was happening until I ran into him at a meeting and gave him an update. And he was grateful. But you know, we're all still talking to Mass DOT about, okay, we really need the sidewalks done as well.
right.
it's a safety issue and we addressed it.
Yeah.
I'd
So
like
this
to,
helps them immediately to some extent, though. That's significant. huh?
so could we also add
That's
that
very
to
cool.
our little blurb on highlights that we're accomplishing that?
Yeah.
So. if you could
Well,
just-
you might want to be careful of that since it's not complete yet.
Okay, so we'll wait on it.
That's
Okay,
true.
I was
I would
trying to
wait.
jump in the gun. Okay. Okay,
That's fine.
okay,
Right.
Progress.
A lot of
Very
projects
good.
where they-
Very good.
great job. Wonderful. Okay. All right. So the last of the, so Mary, so the parking issues still be open or,
Yeah,
okay, keep it open. Okay, and I'm gonna keep the transition open because that's like an ongoing process anyway. Okay, thank you. And we're gonna close that one, okay. And the other one is Quest Diagnostics. So I had given Sarah a letter that she's going to be looking over, and then she will hand off to the manager. Town manager.
Why does it say Sunflower Marketplace?
Isn't
Oh, is
that-
that the name of the marketplace?
it
That's
is.
where
Oh.
it's located in. that.
Sorry,
That's
it threw
plaza.
me off. Okay, that's the plaza. Okay.
Do we,
I was like,
am I
I
supposed to
thought
like, we supposed to read this to everybody or?
Would you like me to do that?
Yes,
Yeah, I
please.
think
I'd
that'd be
appreciate
a
it. Yeah,
good idea.
okay.
The Town of Yarmouth Disability Commission mission is to assist and educate the town residents and public about the concerns and rights of persons living with disabilities. It has been brought to our attention that one of your patrons from Yarmouth Port is unable to safely access the facility at Sunflower Marketplace in Yarmouth Port, Massachusetts. This person is frail, has mobility issues, and uses a walker, and is now traveling 20 miles one way to Wellfleet to use that facility. As a side note, the Hyannis location would not be feasible for someone using a walker either. There are several issues with that location as well. To mention a few, the boards are uneven, the
Okay.
ramp is long and somewhat steep, and if my memory serves me, parking is limited at the side of the building and can't remember if there was a curb cut out for easy access to walkway. I had personally gone to that facility once and never returned. I tried the one in Orleans and found that the boards were uneven also. These comments are mentioned to be constructive criticism and has nothing to do with the quality of Quest Diagnostics, but to barrier issues some of your patrons are facing on a daily basis. Just to put things in proper perspective, Quest Diagnostics is just one of the many public buildings that have accessibility issues. Please look at these locations and see what can be done to rectify the situation. As a suggestion, perhaps one way to provide better access to the Yarmouth Port location is by installing an ADA accessible automatic door opener. Just before you approach the entry door, it can easily be mounted to a post on the left side in front of the wooden platform. The door will easily swing open without any effort for our elderly and those with disabilities to enter your facility safely. Thank you in advance and look forward to hearing from you at your earliest convenience. Regards, Gail Charette, Chairperson. Can I just, I guess, can I say something?
Of course, that's, everybody can.
I would stick with what we know to be true.
What's that?
Well, in here, you say, if my memory serves me,
Yeah, I
parking is
was-
limited. I wouldn't get into
Then I-
anything
then
that
I
we're
would get
not
rid of that.
sure
Okay,
about,
yeah.
because I would stick to like the complaint at hand. You know what
But
I mean?
Yeah, but they're gonna say, go to another facility, and I'm trying to counteract that without
No,
having them say
no,
that.
yeah.
You don't think I should do that? Okay, not a problem.
I would stick with what we know and what the focus is.
Okay,
And then you're saying that, but then in the next paragraph, you're sort of like getting them out of it by saying that these comments are mentioned to be constructive and it has nothing to do with the Quest. That's nice. But you're saying put things in perspective. Quest is just one of the many public buildings that have accessibility issues. That doesn't matter. The focus is on,
okay, because
the
I didn't
fact
want them
that-
to feel.
I
yeah,
know,
yeah,
but this is a business. You're sending this to their corporate office. Like
Okay.
no one's gonna be like,
Okay,
I don't know. That's my own,
May I-
like, I
may
feel
I
like
make a
focusing
suggestion?
on,
could you please clean it up for me?
I would love to.
Thank you, appreciate
You
it.
know,
I'd be
And
happy.
if there's anything else.
I
you get,
noticed
quick.
in that, this is to the point of how to actually draft the letter. Like what we're talking about in the CAM material, they have model letters.
Templates.
I looked at
templates.
them.
They're good.
Well, yeah, but it was
They're
like,
good.
okay, then
I
you
very
tell
s-
me which one we should use because I looked at them.
I will,
And-
but I don't have it. in
No, but
front
I
of
mean,
me.
I looked at them and I did not
Yeah.
see, I didn't see anything
They're
that was
good.
like pinpointing that.
Well, it doesn't pinpoint it because it's a template. It's like a, you know. What do you think, Gene? Nothing,
What they're saying,
no, like the model letters are a good model to follow because they're very polite yet to the point, you know. And we do want to be polite.
Yeah.
But you don't have to like go, you guys are good.
You
and all
don't
that
have to be
stuff.
too nice.
Yeah, you don't have to be all,
Well, you know what, if somebody could look at that and,
Right.
and get that, that'll be great and do that, because oh, good, okay, so what do you think?
just.
Yeah, go ahead.
Can't
Oh,
see.
you can't see, can you?
Other than that, you're in good shape. huh?
Oh, my glasses?
Mhm.
It says, "Dear name of owner or manager, I'm a member of the community concerned about access for people with disabilities. I completed the 2-day community access monitor training offered by Massachusetts Office on Disability. In this capacity, I am helping businesses, agencies, and other organizations identify physical communication barriers. If organization is covered by ADA or only or both ADA and AAC. I'm interested in working with name of organization to improve access to your store, restaurant, business, etc. And in particular, to help you meet the requirements of the Americans with Disabilities Act. Massachusetts access regulations impact your organization. I am interested in working with name of organization to help you meet your accessibility requirements. I will call you soon to give you more information to find out when would be a time to visit your facility. Or you may feel free to contact me at. Thank you sincerely.
So we received a complaint though,
Yeah,
like from
this is
a member of
different.
the
This is
public,
different.
so I don't think we want to be.
No, it's a different kind of, it's a
I think you
different
need
letter.
to
This is
say,
from the
"We
Disability
received
Commission.
a complaint
Yes,
For access, and I personally would. One of the things I would do is go out and take a picture, like you can't deny
I
the
do have a
picture. No, but I'm, put it with the letter.
Is it in the
Okay.
letter?
Well, no, I have a picture of,
How is
I have
that?
it in my phone. I have a
Yeah.
picture of how the platform is, and like if you have a walker, you can't like transfer to the left side and then open the door. I mean, it's just impossible, because I tried it with my.
I
Okay.
remember, yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
but you see in the letter, we want to keep it very simple, not a lot of
Right,
verbiage.
would you guys trust me to write the letter
I do,
and then I
Right.
can, okay.
I do, absolutely.
I just wanted to say that the reason I remembered the CAM models is that it's kind of businesslike. It doesn't really fit our situation because it's.
But I think there's definitely some things you can
You
pull
get what I'm
in
saying?
from there.
And,
Yeah.
and I think that's what came into your mind, is
Mhm.
keep it very businesslike
Yeah.
and specific.
Mhm.
Okay. can
And
do
we
that.
have a specific complaint, and there was a specific reason that she couldn't get in. And that's what we want to,
I mean,
tell
literally,
them
she's
about
traveling 40 miles.
yeah, but we don't, yeah. we-
Yeah, but I do
okay.
think, that's an important fact to
Yes.
say, but I wouldn't get into the Hyannis site. I
Yeah.
wouldn't get in.
Right,
Just.
I know, but you know what you're gonna hear, but I will do that.
that's okay.
Okay.
That's all part of the process.
But you can just
I agree
say,
with this point.
she's,
Totally.
you know,
But
she.
my thought was that, why is she going all the way down Cape when there's one in
Well,
Hyannis?
no, but what I was,
So she was
Yeah.
explaining
Right,
that.
right.
but just, it can be done in a very simple, like two
That's
sentence. She is traveling to, if it be.
Yeah.
Wellfleet, because Hyannis is also difficult for her to access.
Right.
Don't get into the details.
Yeah,
of it.
that's a better way of doing it,
That's
because I
right.
just wanted to do that because,
I
right,
know why,
Thank you.
but
yeah.
this is correct. what
Well,
you're
that
saying.
part-
I
you know
feel
what,
very
I-
strongly about
I
it.
am an individual that gives details.
No, and I
And it's,
appreciate that.
no, I'm thankful that you guys are shortening it, because that's
Right.
what it should be.
That's
I
right,
think
yeah.
like really.
Sarah's right on the button. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I have to leave, guys.
Thanks,
That's okay.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Mary.
Mary, thank you so much.
I have another meeting downstairs.
And this is
That's
just the
right.
first letter, maybe an ongoing dialogue, between.
Right.
So you don't
Hi,
have to
Mary.
say everything all at once to try to control everything all at once,
I know.
because it doesn't work.
All right, I'm a control freak.
You get the idea though,
I
right?
do, absolutely.
And I think Sarah will probably be very good at.
Yeah. Okay, so what do we got next?
It's always easier
No.
to tighten up a little.
That's right.
Exactly.
Tightening it up is,
We get the
Good.
easy part,
Yeah.
really. So thank you for
Well, that- you know
taking it on. Gail.
That's the way I do things.
Yeah.
In my own business, my husband, I would do all that stuff, and then he would say, okay. He would make it right.
he would
and-
tighten it up.
Yeah, he would tighten it up.
Nice.
That's right. Yeah. True.
We love you anyway.
Thank you, honey. I love you too.
She's sitting there.
All right, moving right along.
Okay, so we're.
Speaking of being concise.
Yeah, okay, so we
What's
got
next?
this, We got this. Wait a minute, we're moving along. Okay. Got that. Oh, Gene's Disability Awareness Day.
Yeah, I'd like to discuss this with everyone. It's something I've never done before. We did think that we would like to, well, October is the month. And we thought we wanted to focus on employers, not to find employment, but to provide knowledge. Now, one of the things that we had, there's this young lady that Gail researched, Colette DeVito, Down syndrome, and she started cookies. And it's a multi-million-dollar company now, only a couple of years old. And we were saying, wouldn't it be nice if we could get her to come and speak? Or maybe someone even in her company. Do we have money to do something like that, Sarah?
What is the cost?
I don't know. We haven't even,
You'd have to
Approach
pay her a fee to,
I have to
This is-
find out, yeah. But I don't even know if we can do anything like that. Maybe it'll be too much.
I think we need to know what the cost is and
Okay.
then we can figure out if. What
So
we
in the
can do. 'Cause
meantime,
I'm sure it's gonna be more than what we have
yeah,
in our donations
think?
account, but
she's
yeah,
only in Boston, which is a good thing.
yeah,
Yeah,
so find out,
we'll
can you
look into what.
find out what the cost
Okay.
would be?
She's very
Okay.
inspirational. She's like 26 years old. She went to Clemson University.
yeah.
Yeah, this
She
is great.
graduated in business. She hires impaired or disabled people to help with her cookie baking, you know.
Did you
Um,
see her talk by her online or something?
Yeah,
Cool.
and she also has over 50 or 60 sites throughout the whole country where her cookies are distributed. And Cake Abilities was listed as one of them.
Yeah,
And yesterday, Jean and I went there. I wanted to buy some cookies and bring them in, but they didn't have them.
because
They don't carry them.
They don't carry them. they
We
said.
should have spoken to someone about that.
Yeah,
that's interesting. Yeah.
so, well, you know, it's also a perishable item. Who knows what happened, you know?
You know what I lost track of is what kind of an event would you were gonna have her speak at in
Well,
October,
as I said, I only know the
I-
little I've read,
right?
and I was really looking to Jessica and Mary to probably co-chair the event. You do have resources. Court has done so much that I'm sure you have a lot of knowledge. And Mary has all these connections, and especially thinking of employers,
Hmm.
and that would be after the busy season. So what do you think, Jessica? And with all our help, but for someone who's knowledgeable enough to chair it.
I think that's something that's probably doable. I need a little more information.
And also, I
need to
think,
know what like the goals of this event are gonna look like.
yeah, we don't even know yet, but I'm thinking, as I'm thinking, college, we should tap into the college. Because they're doing the transition for those that would like to, you know, have, not only have work for businesses, but possibly they could be future entrepreneurs. We don't know that. It would be very inspiring.
Well, there's many programs around, I mean, capabilities, community connections. The
PAC,
college has
Which is.
So
Project Forward.
Yep.
The Riverview School in Sandwich is a boarding school for people with disabilities.
Yep.
So there's,
And
you
Lucky
know,
to
there's
mention
lots
the
of,
Veterans Outreach,
right,
that's another one.
yeah.
I mean, we can actually have like a function where we can invite people from those organizations to come to hear this woman speak. I think it would be kind of,
So I guess what I am trying to I think this sounds like a great thought. What is the goal of the event? Because I think those people all already know the benefits of employing someone with a disability. They're already advocating for
yeah,
this.
I'm
They're-
also talking about the people that. I guess maybe I don't understand something here. I'm thinking about if I was in a, like I went to court, right? and I'm impaired, which I am anyway, but further impaired. I would want somebody to probably sit down with me and see what potential I have. Like I may have in my heart that I would like to be an entrepreneur, but I have no clue how to do it. So I'm thinking about young people that maybe have this desire inside. We don't know it, okay, because we haven't communicated that and they haven't communicated to us. But if they hear an inspirational.
How do you get
speech,
such people to this talk?
so this is where that's what I see. I don't understand I know you have these organizations that help these people, but aren't some of these individuals that go to these places maybe would like to be inspired and maybe have like a thought that they would like to do something like this? That's what I'm talking about. I'm trying to reach those kind of individuals. I'm trying to.
Or
reach
is it the businesses that you want to employ them?
I would
We
say both.
want-
It's a twofold thing.
We
Yeah,
want
so what's your?
employers there. I think my first thought for this whole project is to get us on the map. To do the publicity, to send out the mailings to all these organizations, to employers, to make them aware that we are there. And that maybe the senior center again would be a good place. And
So what are your goals? What do you want to have be the outcome for
We
such
would
an
like-
event?
to enlighten employers that disability does not mean inability.
Very good.
And that there are people with disabilities who can work.
Yes, Evelyn.
I would like to say that if we give it to Jessica and Mary,
Mary,
that we let them run with it and tell us what they want from us to do.
I think so. And I
Because
have a
they're-
folder
they're
that
not
goes on
more
it.
ideas than we have.
Look at what Mary
Yes.
gets for leaving early.
You're Mary, you're in charge of the universe. Congratulations.
Hey, Mary, that's.
You
Well,
This, and in favor of minutes stuff, so
You know what? I didn't see it until then. I was checking off.
I'm just teasing you.
No,
So,
I should have done that
Jessica,
earlier.
What does all this, does this
I think we should just talk
gel
about it again
anything in your
next month.
mind at all?
Yeah.
But I
Okay.
mean,
I'd like to hear Jessica.
We actually have services that do exactly that.
you have what?
Youth services that do just this. We connect with employers and so it's called work readiness and prep.
Readiness and prep.
For 14 to 21-year-olds, so we get them connected with, first we give them workshops, the workplace etiquette, things of that nature. How to build a resume, how to do job interviews. And then we connect them with employers that we have on our roster that do internships. I don't work in the youth services, I don't, the finite details of those programs. I'd have to get that information, but they have. And before I completely dedicate myself to this, let me make sure that it's okay with my supervisors that I dedicate myself to this.
Mhm.
Dedicate your. Okay, so
They might have, there's a very small chance that they'll take issue with it.
Okay,
So I
here's
need to be
another
sure.
thought. You know what? As I'm thinking about this, as I'm hearing all this stuff, right?
Mhm.
I'm saying to myself, okay, I had a business. How would I wouldn't even know about thinking about, all this stuff, right? So do our businesses in town, are they aware of all our outfits that have, like this kind of,
No,
these kind of services? So maybe if they're
Something that we're
not,
working-
okay, so that's probably where we should probably maybe think about it then. By bringing it back to the employers and educating or letting them know. So that if they have a need, they'll say, you know what, let me call Court up and let me see what we can do.
I think we have to talk to Mary too.
Yeah, but I'm thinking, is this so, yeah.
She's the key with the
Right.
Well, no, we
employers.
can't just throw her in the.
No.
No, but I mean, that could be the goal.
If you really want to have this young lady come as a speaker, maybe she can speak to the employers, like look what I did, there are other people in the community.
Right.
who like me. that do
Exactly.
this too.
So you do see a
Exactly.
possible good
So the
point.
con-
to such a-
yeah.
I think, yeah,
That's
or I
interesting.
wonder almost like a fair, where we invite, there's like, at least
Matching
half
up.
a dozen, probably more. Like you service 14 to 21. Community Connection serves 22 and up, right? And then you've got, I don't know where capabilities fits into that. And like, there's, half a dozen or so organizations in
They're
the
all-
area that have a little niche within this, right?
Okay.
And
They're
so,
all post high school. Because they can only
Mhm.
stay in school till the age of 22.
Yeah.
And that's when all these agencies.
but they have a program for 14 to
Yeah,
21
we
too.
have two programs for 14 to 21. One is education based for kids that are in high school. The other one is high school or post-secondary school.
But they're really an advocacy. I'm talking, the others are day programs and work programs like
Mhm.
capabilities, hack, community connections. They're all day programs.
Well, no,
And
actually,
some of them-
Community Connections has,
Training.
also has a transition. I don't know what it's, I forget what it's called, but they actually we're actually hiring, a gentleman that we found through Community
Mhm.
Connections here at Town Hall. He
Now,
starts
see, that's a
out-
highlight. That's important.
Yeah, so, yeah. So I think,
There it is, isn't it?
it's, it's awareness and it's encouraging employers to, think a little bit differently and realize the potential of these people and think about what tasks or jobs they could have someone do.
Yes.
And it's an educational process, but I just wonder if, Community Connections actually had a good event that Gail and I went to last year. And it was, they were talking about inclusiveness and, so I think you need to have, kind of a little bit of a focus, and maybe that's what you're asking for, is for Mary and Jessica, if they're willing to kind of be a little subcommittee and discuss, an event. And then focus us in on what the goals would be and what the event
Yeah.
would look like, because there's so many different directions you can go with this. But I think you kind of can't get there until you know what your goals are, you know what I mean? And it sounds like the goals really are educating employers about employing people with disabilities.
That can also include a little bit of ADA and reasonable accommodations in the workplace.
Right.
Yeah,
So
Right.
can we,
I'm gonna have to interrupt. And come again.
Okay.
okay, I think we're about
We're
ready to wrap it up.
Okay.
But do we want to let
Evelyn,
Evelyn make her statement?
you have,
I had a statement to make
Right.
that I'm not really happy about making in one way, but I'm gonna have to resign completely from this committee as of September 1 because of my conditions, which don't want to go anywhere. And doctors have given up, and so I have to have somebody watch me all the time, and that's why my daughter's there. And so I wanted to be here through the meeting, through the election and all of that. So we are in the process of moving me back to Maine.
When do you
So
plan
I
to be back
will
in
have
Maine?
to Not be a Cape resident.
When do you plan to be back in Maine? Not sure yet.
I'm going back the 23rd.
This month,
But I will be, I'm not giving up my house until September 1. will
I
be
see.
the end.
Yeah.
So
I
can
think you'd
stay
still-
on.
Good Zoom, he could vote by Zoom and all that. Yeah, even if you're in Maine. Yeah.
I'm very sad about it.
well,
Oh, you have done,
Great.
you are a mother of the commission,
Yeah,
really.
you
are,
Evelyn
that's
gave
for
it
sure.
birth. Evelyn, you gave it birth.
That's
And we
correct.
want to do it justice for you.
Yeah.
Because we know
That's
how
right. This is
important it
your
is to you.
offspring, this whole thing.
the silent partner.
I enjoyed my time with you all, but I will have to send a letter to the selectmen. That, September first, so when will I send the letter?
Whenever you'd like, you can do it anytime.
Oh,
Do you, will you be back before then at all? And then you're leaving next week or, okay,
it's quite a procedure to get me anywhere.
yeah.
That's it.
Well, thank you for everything that you've done for the
Really,
town and for this commission.
I haven't worked with you.
Long, but I still enjoyed the time that we had.
Don't forget, Evelyn did create this out of,
Yes, she did.
from the
She
ground
created
up.
it. Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Quite an accomplishment.
So we want to definitely keep it going. We're gonna definitely keep it going.
So I want to be sure that the selectmen go through the town bank and get somebody.
Right. That's something that is, we're gonna have to keep thinking about as a group. I know in the other committee I'm on. We would beat the bushes and ask people. Please put your name in the talent bank and say you want to be on the age-friendly committee. You know, and we found a couple of people who were willing to do that, you know, so that's one way it happens.
That's right.
I think that's your phone.
It's your phone, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to
Maybe it's your daughter.
make them entertain a
Yeah, it's
motion
like
to
the,
adjourn?
like a car.
Sounds like the thing in her car.
The door.
So you think that's it? I think that's probably it, yeah. It's a permanent light.
We may now continue the meeting.
I think,
I am going to
never
miss you,
thought-
Evelyn. But we'll talk
Yes. seatbelt on.
Zoom, you know, but I mean, but I'm glad we did that project together.
Yeah, this
Thank you
sounds
so
great.
much. That is so important,
job.
really. Thank you. At
So,
this time. Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry, may I just
Yes, go ahead.
say the disability awareness. If, who wants to talk to Mary? I just see you two as co-chair, contributing a great deal of your knowledge. And we'd be there to help, but not to direct you. That would be your decision.
You can count on us to help, really, whatever you need. I'm there. And geez.
I have Mary's contact information, so I can reach out to her.
Okay,
Really.
good.
I just, like I said, I also wanted to get approval from
That's
my
That makes
provider.
sense, yeah.
There's a small.
What's that? Yeah.
Yeah.
There was, that, yeah.
That's.
That's
Yes.
what they were about these,
Those are yours.
Take 'em.
Doing
Yeah,
this
take
as a
some.
citizen.
Take the whole thing.
A little bit of both, actually.
there's a plate right there too.
You can't separate the two.
Do you want to make?
I
a
want to make
motion?
a motion to adjourn the meeting. Do I hear a second?
Second the motion.
Thank you, Drew. All in favor?
I.
Motion passed.
Anybody else want?
Any discussions?
Banana?